California, Los Angeles, they went crazy for a little while, didn't they? It went so crazy that the rest of the cities in the United States started to get a little bit crazy there for a minute. But everything's starting to even out, starting to go as it should. People are getting arrested. Marines were deployed. Curfew was set in place.
Los Angeles isn't seeing rampant looting, this is just undocumented shopping. As first, they looted the Jordan stores of its sneakers, then
Yeah, I bet there ain't rampant looting anymore now that they've deployed the military.
snuck in Zara to steal some cheap clothes, moving on to the Apple store to steal some phones.
These are just protesters, guys. They're just protesters.
Even though they already know, once stolen, the devices are completely useless.
They don't know that because they're idiots.
So they went back to the Adidas store to steal some sweatpants.
Of course they did. Gotta look fly. This is like a comedy movie about this is Idiocracy. The way they're running out is funny too because they're having to step over things. Like, this looks like Idiocracy.
That'll sure teach those sneaker stores to not deploy the feds into their neighborhoods. And in case you're wondering what stealing cell phones and sneakers accomplishes, that looting work boots or textbooks don't.
Yeah, you know what it accomplishes? It accomplishes stores leaving that area and not coming back and creating wastelands.
We solved that in an earlier episode.
Why do you think bookstores were never looted and robbed during BLM riots?
Because black people, we enjoy education.
Oh, they weren't.
They weren't. That's the point. Why would we loot bookstores?
Why would you loot designer stores?
Because no.
That only sounds stupid because it is stupid.
Incredibly stupid. One of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So many people like that. I meet so many of these people out on the streets that are this dumb. They got all these ideas in their head that they collected over reading random things on social media, but they actually don't know what they're talking about. They just know the words. They've heard the words a bunch of times, so they put those together in their head, and they actually don't know really what it means.
As the looters don't care if you're a multinational corporation or just some locally owned jewelry store.
Oh, they're in.
All the people that are for illegal immigration, I've got one question to ask you. Do you know how immigration even works? The legal immigration, do you know how that system is even set up, how it works? Before you talk about like, oh, we got to be compassionate to the illegal immigrants. There's a reason why they're not getting through legally.
Oh,
And as this street journalist was just recording the looting in public, these peaceful protesters beat him.
Yeah, and they all look Mexican, don't they? That sounded like a Mexican.
They even tried to rob Nick Shirley in broad daylight. And attacking anybody the mob didn't like.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. These people are fucking insane. Insane, violent people. Violence should not be allowed. Anybody that's even acting like they're gonna be violent should be arrested. When it comes to like being in these crazy protests that are not really protests.
They're chasing America. They're apparently trying to attack.
So much for being peaceful people, as sadly the attacks weren't even the worst part about this. It's the looting that's likely the most damaging, where local business owners are losing everything.
But it is the small, the mom and pop businesses.
Of course. Because they're not actually mad at anybody. They just are mad at the government system for arresting them and their family for doing criminal shit their entire lives. Maybe if they didn't do criminal shit, they wouldn't keep getting arrested. It's crazy.
That have also been looted. Nimat, I mean, you have tears in your eyes.
Yeah, he's probably going to be leaving. He's probably not going to be coming back here. He's probably not going to keep the business running. There's no way. Especially if this keeps happening. I can see all these types of people, they're just going to leave.
Of what they've done to your business.
Very bad.
Of course he's an immigrant. He's a legal immigrant. These people are fucking evil, man. They're fucking evil. Like, forget about all the legal immigrants. Illegal immigrants, the actual criminals. Let's Glaze them. Let's become one of those people. Wearing a ski mask, waving a flag around in front of a burning car like ISIS.
It is 1 week is a riot, and people of the transgender or other things, and they close the business, and nobody can come inside.
With several such cases. All because the Democrats decided that President Trump can't get a win, so let's pretend we don't have a riot on our hands and sacrifice the entire life's work of actual Americans. As some locations were lucky and LAPD was nearby.
Yes. Yes. Love to see it. Things are actually being done. Not enough. It looks ridiculous. They got a couple of people. Better than none.
But what the heck does looting a sushi restaurant have to do with anything?
Absolutely nothing.
They must have heard that sushi's served with ice and just started smashing, as that's Otoro Sushi in Little Tokyo. They're run by Japanese chefs from Japan and only have 3 locations that can only stay open 5 days a week for 5 hours a day. So I wouldn't be surprised if their profit margins were so razor thin they could never open again.
Yep, they're just gonna leave too. You're creating a wasteland. I think that's what the people in power want, because they can just demolish everything and do what they want there. Make a rail system. That's what they want, right? Look at the paths of the fires and look at the paths of the rail system they're wanting. Look at the paths of where all the crime has broken out. Look where the rail system is, where they're wanting it. Lines up pretty well, don't it? It's fucking crazy. Crazy how that works.
But sadly, the Democrats aren't interested in protecting those type of immigrants. They'll only bend over backwards to defend them and their makeshift mortars, letting them peacefully beat the crap out of each other in the streets.
Yeah, because what do they care? They're gonna be the ones that are gonna allow them to have more seats. They're not actually out there in the streets. And it especially works better for them if regular people move out and then all you have are these crazy criminals. And then you can also use those people to raise yourself an army and start taking over other places with violence. And all you have to do is manipulate them to do it. You don't even have to outright command them. And then you can play dumb and act like that's not what you're doing.
And even pop off a couple paintball rounds at the police lines. As the left-wing news media first claimed, they're just having fun watching cars burn.
What is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into...
With Democrat Congresswoman declaring there was no violence.
People were telling me that like, oh, I need to quit watching Fox News. People are out there protesting against the tyrannical government. They're not out there having fun. That was ABC. That was ABC that said that, wasn't it? Yeah, ABC. Incredible.
There was no violence. I was on the street. I know.
And now stating it's just the exuberance of the moment.
Careful whether you see a burned car or broken window or whatever it is. It may be the exuberance of the moment.
How fiery but...
Exuberance of the moment. What the fuck does that mean? That's insane. That is an insane thing to say about a riot that's happening. Oh, it's just passion. These people are just passionate. They don't mean anything by it. They're not trying to hurt anybody.
Mostly peaceful became the exuberance of the moment is just a prime example of how stupid they think their voter base is. As anybody actually paying attention knows what's really going on, and no matter how many times they ask ChatGPT to rephrase their lies,
a lot of people are paying attention and knows what's really going on, and they're still lying about it because they want it to happen. They want chaos to happen. People like Hassan Piker, they love this shit.
It can't change the fact that they've officially lost the city, somehow thinking that this will stop the raids.
Stop with the ICE raids. If ICE shows up, do not resist, claim your rights. Shh, stay silent.
Hey, you, the guy that's about to write something disgusting.
Yeah, they were trying to use military propaganda like America uses, but it was weird and off-putting, and like the people didn't look quite right. You know, they're not, I mean, they're pretty, but they're not like supermodels. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish there. It just looked weird. It was just really weird and cringy.
In my comment section.
Stop it. Get some help.
But the Democrats' plan to stop the riots was even dumber.
But the real solution of all of this is for the administration to stop the raids.
Doubling down on that statement.
We need to...
Bro, even, like, I think even if these ICE raids wouldn't have happened, I think there was still going to be some riots. We could all sense it. We were all calling it. It would have just been over something else. Something else would have happened.
Stop the raids. This should not be happening in our city.
Oh, it definitely should. 100% should. It should be happening all across the country. Get these people out. I don't even care.
The only thing it does is contribute to chaos. This was chaos that was started at Washington, D.C.
Yeah, because Trump was burning down cars in the streets and attacking people. That's what Trump was doing. No, it wasn't the left. It wasn't the peaceful protesters. The agitated demonstrators.
It's crazy how she's literally asking Trump to let the rioters hold the city hostage until he gives in to their demands of not enforcing our country's laws, basically admitting she cannot control the city, all the more reason that the military needs to come in and save it. But now their argument against Trump restoring order to the city is that the deployment of the National Guard and Marines will cost $134 million.
Yeah, congratulations, Democrats. We wouldn't be in this mess if you would have just stopped the fucking riots, arrested people that were setting cars on fire and throwing bricks. Are you fucking retarded? Yes. Yes, they are.
Conveniently forgetting that California already spends $8.4 billion, or over 800% more, on health benefits for undocumented residents this year alone.
Yep, that's fucking insane. They're complaining about, oh, you're spending this much money on getting the illegals out of here. Well, look how much we're spending keeping them here.
It's that same argument of building a wall is too expensive, so let's just load 10 times that amount on EBT accounts to hand out. So I'm glad our ICE director doesn't care and will continue the raids.
Good. Thank God, man. I've had enough of this.
As a matter of fact, we got over 100 teams out today enforcing immigration law. And we're going to flood the zone. I've said for a month, sanctuary cities, you don't want us to arrest these bad guys that you just listed out. We could arrest them in the safety and security of the county jail.
Yeah, and if you impede us, we will arrest you too. That's what should have been happening. Should have been arresting them the whole time. Should have started out arresting them.
But they won't let us into jail. They release them into the community, which means we got to send a whole bunch of teams in the community to find this dangerous person that don't want to be found.
So if anything, the raids in LA have only increased in frequency, proudly posting whenever they make an arrest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you pissed them off. Now it's gonna get worse. Now a bunch of the people that were involved who were legal citizens, they're going. They're getting out. No second chances on this one.
As I really think Holman knows. Either way, he's gonna get bad press, so might as well go all in on completing the mission. The problem is, like what initiated this in Minneapolis, where apparently the rioters mistook a drug bust for an ICE raid, and even to today.
I think that's where all of this started. And I don't think anybody looked into this further. They heard that this happened, and were like, yep, that's what happened. Democrats told me so. And then they never saw that it got debunked, and that people crashed out for no fucking reason. That's what crashing out means. And then they just crashed out harder with these ICE raid protests that turned into riots, which were really planned riots the entire time.
Reddit is out there warning their communities of ICE activity, even if it turns out just to be the local police fulfilling a student's make.
I saw people on Facebook warning people in the area that I'm local to.
A wish stream with their SWAT team. And even when the original poster was corrected, they still stood by their warning that ICE could have been in the area, with other Redditors agreeing this was a good thing. They literally couldn't be any dumber if they tried, which makes me truly believe in the dead internet theory, as Reddit is likely just AI bots talking to AI bots, talking to anybody dumb enough to not notice they're talking to bots, talking to a couple foreign agents pushing an anti-American agenda. But ironically, and also tragically, probably the only thing that could save Los Angeles, California is Chinese President Xi.
That's fucking insane. Of course, they love China. They love President Xi. They wish they could run the country like President Xi does. Trump just wants to be friends with him. He doesn't want to run the country like China. He doesn't want to be like China. He wants to overtake China. and have them be reliant on our economy. Democrats want it the other way around, so they can make bank and they don't have to worry about the country, and they can just let the country fall into chaos while they're making more and more money.
As all he has to say is, hey, I'm dropping by LA tomorrow.
After all, if the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And that means if we can make the poor poorer, then we can be richer.
And just like when he visited San Francisco, it would immediately be cleaned up.
Folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town.
It's true. What other reason could it be? What excuse are you gonna drop? I remember when this happened. This is fucking stupid.
That's true.
Well, at least he admitted it. Fuck.
Because it's true.
And again, as of recording this video,
yeah, they could have cleaned it up the entire time. And they can keep it clean, but they won't. Because they want it dirty. Because that's how they keep control.
Keeps getting worse for him, where LA implemented a curfew that nobody is listening to. Protests have spread up to Seattle.
The way it works is like, we're gonna keep you oppressed and homeless. And then the homeless are like, well, we're oppressed and homeless, but look at all these things that the Democrats are doing for us, all the rich people are doing for us, all these programs. Even though they're the ones that are keeping them homeless in the first place. They're like, we're gonna profit off of you being slaves. But you're not gonna think you're slaves, because here's a store for you where you can buy food. We'll give you the money for it too if you just listen to us, do the things that we want you to do, use our programs, take our drugs.
All the way over to New York City, and in Chicago, they just had to deploy the bomb squad into their sewers. So make sure you're subscribed, as it's about to get spicy. Don't doom scroll on.
Yeah, it's about to get way spicier. I can't wait until all of this blows over and we actually enter the conversation about it, about what just happened. Because right now everything's real messy and we don't know what's going on. And it's like, we're on day 7, aren't we? Is it still going? At the time of this video's drop, leave down in the comments what's happening right now as you're watching this video. It might be a week after this video drops. Like, what's going on, man? It's craziness. That's all I got for this one. Buy a t-shirt in the description. I'm out.